Hey there, Moonlighters. Colin the Werewolf here with another episode of A Werewolf in Australia. Hey guys, this is a really important episode for me, okay? And I know I'm a pretty cheerful guy normally, but this week I need to get a bit more serious, okay? Halloween is just around the corner, and as much as it can be one of the best nights of the year, it can also be a very dangerous one, especially if you're a werewolf. There's a lot of supernatural energy in the air, which means you're gonna turn full moon or not. And now the thing about this is that your transformation is gonna be a lot darker and a lot scarier than normal. Even if you're like me, a werewolf year round, things can get bad. Which means you need to take responsibility. If you don't take Halloween seriously, people could get very hurt. Or worse, they could turn into... So let's avoid that, shall we? Okay, here's my top 10 tips for a safe and responsible Halloween. Now you may have noticed that I'm actually somewhere different for this week's episode, and that brings me to tip number 1. I don't want to sound like a real estate agent, but location is actually everything, especially on Halloween, okay? You might think that you'll be okay to stay at home and lock the doors, yeah, but you'd be wrong. You want to find somewhere secure and away from people. Now that's mostly to avoid eating anyone, but also it actually helps dodge noise complaints, which can come back and bite you later. Now maybe you've had the idea to go somewhere remote, okay, like a forest or Mount Tibrogargan, alright, wait for the whole thing to blow over. You'd be a f***ing idiot. Sorry, but that's exactly why I made this video. Okay, let's say a group of friends go camping for the weekend, for Halloween. Great way to hang out, spend some time together. Okay, and then a werewolf comes running out of the bush. Some of them, fitter than others, might get away. What if one trips? What if one can't? So you need somewhere private and secure. Okay, for me, that's Fort Knox Storage on Brisbane's east side. Now it's in a fairly remote industrial area, which is great, but also has multiple layers of security. I really recommend a storage facility, okay? Because you're gonna get all of your privacy needs met, but you're also not gonna gouge up your floorboards, all right, and get evicted again. Now, our werewolf bodies may not exist within known science, but that doesn't mean that they exist outside of science altogether. We still need to use a lot of energy to run. Alright, so why not use all that energy up? Go for a run on the day of Halloween. And when you start to feel like you're getting tired, keep on running. Alright, and then go further than that, and further again. Right, basically, if you can still move your legs, you haven't run far enough. Right, good luck chasing anyone down, and your body just wants to curl up and cry itself to sleep. So this is just like running, except I really enjoyed this tip. It stands to reason that if you transform on a full stomach, you've got less of an appetite for people. Alright, so why not, after you've exhausted your body with exercise, finish it off by putting it in a food coma. Consider it the most ethical cheat day you'll ever have. Think meditation's just wishy-washy spiritual nonsense? Well, take a step back, buddy, okay? Just have a look at that werewolf body of yours. Because there's actually 1,000 times more research about the benefits of meditation than there is on being a werewolf. All right, so don't dismiss it. A calm mind is a controlled mind. Your transformation is going to bring a lot of stresses and anxieties. All right, so no need to bring any of your own. Now guys, you don't have to go through this alone. The night is less long with someone beside you, alright? So find yourself a transformation buddy. Humans are obviously a no-go. Alright, but the supernatural community just has so many options. There are even volunteer organisations that are actually dedicated to helping werewolves get through the night. They're often made up of beings such as trolls and golems and demigods, or creatures who can't be hurt by wolves. Okay, and actually have the strength to just gently sit us back down if things go alright. For me, I have Ollie. Okay, now being a ghost, I actually can't bite him or hurt him, which is fantastic. But best of all, he can actually lock the door from the outside and just pass right through to keep me company. He's also great for conversation. Trust me, get yourself an Ollie. Even if you are locked up, you need to tie yourself down, okay? Now you might think that ropes and bungee cords are gonna do the job. Yeah, all right. I've even seen people try straitjackets, and they may have done the job in the past, but your Halloween transformation, it'll break you out there in no time. All right, what you need is metal. Now don't be afraid of silver, because it turns out that's actually just made up for movies. Don't know why they do that to us. Pretty annoying. Now chains seem like a good idea, but those links, they're actually weak spots, okay? And they can tear apart under certain strain. Instead, I've found galvanized wire to be the best solution. So this actually spreads the stresses of your transformation much more evenly, okay? Which really reduces the risk of ruining some poor family's Halloween. Now the benefit is you can actually get a lot tighter and more comfortably around your body. The best thing about this as well is you can get it at any of your local Bunnings, which if you're not from Australia, it's basically heaven on earth. I can explain this. Yeah, it's not what it looks like. So, if you've done everything right, you're not going to be in the forest, terrorizing campers and ruining lives. You'll be somewhere secure, like this, okay? Tied up and waiting for sleep to take that exhausted and food-stuffed body. But what if you can't sleep? Okay, you can't predict when your body's gonna transform, and Halloween is a long night. Okay, so we gotta just find some ways to keep busy. Board games are great, okay? Just as long as you pick something that's fun and low risk. Because you'll be tighter, you actually need a transformation buddy who can move the pieces and not cheat. Okay, quiz games like Trivial Pursuit, perfect. Now if you want something more exciting, the Nintendo Switch is ideal. Okay, because those split controls pop off the end and you can play with them no matter how tied up you are. Just avoid anything too stressful, okay? I would recommend Mario Odyssey over Mario Kart. You know, where a blue shell could cause a blood-soaked rampage even before the whole werewolf thing. Lastly, books are great too. Okay, and if your hands are too restricted, just get prepared with some audiobooks or have your transformation buddy read to you as well.
The family of Dashwood had been long settled in Sussex. Their estate was large.
How large is she? Avoid being around anyone or any creature who might stir you up, okay? That means humans and vampires are right out. And witches too, apparently. Hey, oh. Now, you also need to avoid drinking and drugs, okay? Imagine you find out that you were bitten because the wolf in question actually was too drunk to even try tying a half-assed rope solution. I'm just saying, don't leave anything to chance. Okay, you might think you don't need these tips. You definitely do, okay? Because when things go wrong, they go very, very wrong. Which leads me to... Now, even with the best intentions, things can and will go wrong, okay? So you always have to make sure to let your friends know where you are and how they'll be able to stop you. For me, my vet friend Lisa has actually loaded Ollie up with some tranquilizers, okay? That he's not afraid to use. I know this whole video is about being responsible, okay, but I can't emphasize enough. It's actually not just about following these tips, it's an entire mindset, all right? And that means doing everything you can to make sure nothing goes wrong. And if it does go wrong, that means taking responsibility for it. But let's say you don't go with responsible. Let's say you go with that forest option, okay? You think that some old ropes and a beer will be enough to bide you through the night. What happens if you're too drunk to tie yourself in properly? You find some campers, and as they're scurrying away and screaming their guts out, one of them trips on a log that he wouldn't have tripped on if he'd gone left instead of right. For an example. Maybe you eat them, you gobble them right up, and that's bad. But maybe it's worse. Maybe they get away. And when they're being woken the next morning by a ghost, they're already a complete wolf. And finally, after all that, what if instead of owning up and apologizing, you just disappear and hope things work themselves out? Sure, there may not be any consequences for you, not yet, but do you know what it would mean? It'd mean you're a bastard. Wow, that got a bit intense there for a bit, didn't it, guys? But hopefully you found some of those hints helpful. Alright, now as usual, if you did enjoy my video, please make sure that you press the like button and more importantly, subscribe, alright? And share it with all of your friends, every single one of them, wolf or not, okay? Alright, now next week we're actually going on a road trip to Byron Bay, and that's fantastic. We have some special guests on that episode, so make sure you come and tune in. Alright, we'll see you then. Also, if you have any information about a werewolf named Jared, last seen at Tibrogargan Mountain, please make sure you drop that information in the comments below. Just try and talk to him about something.